Good morning, everyone. Welcome again to Randall R. Sadler Stadium on the campus of Earlham College as we get set for Day 2 of the 2017 Hcac Baseball Tournament. And if anything today will be like yesterday, we have some exciting games coming up. Both Earlham and Manchester winning yesterday in one-run games. The Quakers knocked off Rose-Hulman 4-3 in 10 innings to advance to today's semifinal. In the second game yesterday, a back-and-forth contest between number 2 Manchester and number 3 Mount St. Joseph. Manchester winning by a final of 7-6. So 3 games today, starting bright and early this morning, 9:30, Earlham and Manchester. We'll follow that up with Rose against Mount St. Joe, and then one more game. By the way, that Rose-Mount St. Joe scheduled for around 12:30, and then the final game of the day in our 3-day marathon today, the 4 o'clock contest. Rose or Mount St. Joe will play the loser of this contest between Earlham and Manchester. Well, this first game of the day should be a good one. We're talking about two teams. When they met earlier this year in Manchester, it was what you would consider a slugfest between both of these teams. We'll talk about those earlier meetings and the amount of runs they put up between the two ball clubs, and what do we expect today, as we will see Kyle Gorman going today for the Quakers and Taylor Copland today for Manchester. That's all coming up right here on the Farm Bureau Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show. This is the 2017 Hcac Baseball Tournament.
Getting a lucky break rocks, but no one can be lucky all the time. Which is why when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, the company that believes great coverage starts with care. A cost-free consultation offered to anyone, Farm Bureau client or not, that allows agents to get to know you better so they can help you prepare better. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shear.
Hi, this is Troy Darengowski of Radio Troy Digital Sports. There are plenty places for me to get lunch or dinner, but there's only one Mancino's. In fact, I was just there for lunch the other day and had a delicious pizza grinder. That's just one of many choices I can get at Mancino's. How about a fresh salad? Several varieties of pasta, Mancino's Lights, or perhaps even an oven-baked spaghetti, or maybe a pepperoni pizza. So when you're looking for a great lunch or dinner, make sure you choose Mancino's, 217 National Road West in Richmond.
Hi, this is Steve Funkhauser, and I was talking to someone the other day about how friendly and professional the crew at Jiffy Lube is, and they said, "You are always so upbeat. I'm going to call you Mr. Positive." And so now I am Mr. Positive. And I want you to know how proud I am of you and that you are doing a great job today. And hey, do something nice for somebody. Make somebody smile. Smiles are contagious, you know. I want you to have a great day and the horse you rode in on. Jiffy Lube. Fast, friendly, professional. I'm Mr. Positive, and I approve this message.
Well, earlier this year, Manchester took 2 out of 3 from the Quakers up in Manchester, 4-3, 14-10, and 14-8. That first game not indicative of how that series went. That was a huge 3-game set for Manchester that helped them vault themselves into this tournament, though it was very early in the season. You're talking about Earlham. On the weekend went 26 runs, 44 hits. They hit 370. I'm going to take this back. This is actually Manchester. 26 runs, 44 hits. They hit 370 in that 3-game set, averaging nearly 8 runs per game and almost 15 hits per contest as well. On the other side, the Quakers averaged 9 runs, 12.3 hits, and hit 325 in that 3-game set as well. So if it is any indication of what we might see today, we could see a lot of runs put on the board between these two teams, Manchester and Earlham. We'll come back. Starting lineup is coming up next here on the Farm Bureau Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show. This is the 2017 Hcac Baseball Tournament.
Some people are born lucky. Other people take luck into their own hands, avoid stepping on sidewalk cracks, and wouldn't dare walk under a ladder. But whether you're born with luck or make your own, when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today or visit them online at infarmbureau.com to purchase an auto policy. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shear.
Here's how things will line up today. First off, for the Spartans of Manchester, Braxton Riley will lead things off. He'll be at shortstop. Taylor Zarensky hitting second. He's at first base. Tyler LaFollette will be in right field batting third. The cleanup hitter in center field, Chad Schultz. Hitting fifth, the left fielder, Eric Nepper. Hitting sixth and DHing, Joe Gallatin. Hitting seventh and playing third base, Kevin Clark. Hitting eighth and catching, Matt Pritz. And hitting ninth, playing second base, Christian Smith. Taylor Copland again will go today for Manchester, 3-3 on the year with an ERA of 6.02. So again for Manchester, Riley, Zarensky, LaFollette, Schultz, Nepper, Gallatin, Clark, Pritz, and Smith. For the Quakers, it'll be Nate Lynch. Leading things off, he'll be in center field. Matt Barger hitting second, and he'll be at second base. Brendan Laird hitting third, the shortstop. In the cleanup spot today, Eric Elkis at first base. Hitting fifth and DHing, Addison Robertson. Batting sixth and catching, Cody Krumloff. Hitting seventh, playing third base, Danny Dopp. Hitting eighth in left field, Isaiah Shake. And hitting ninth in right field, Kendall Baker. Kyle Gorman will go today for the Quakers, 6-1 with an ERA of 3.11. And again for the Quakers, it'll be Lynch, Barger, Laird, Elkis, Robertson, Krumloff, Dopp, Shake, and Baker. We will come back and get Game 1 underway in just a few moments. This has been the Farm Bureau Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show here on Radio Troy Digital Sports. This is the 2017 HCAC Baseball Tournament.
Getting a lucky break rocks, but no one can be lucky all the time. Which is why when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, the company that believes great coverage starts with care. A cost-free consultation offered to anyone, Farm Bureau client or not, that allows agents to get to know you better so they can help you prepare better. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shear.
Are you looking for a quality used car you can trust to take you where you want to go? Stop at Tony's Car Sales at 250 National Road West. Tony's has a top-of-the-line selection of low-mileage, one-owner cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, all handpicked by Mike and Adrian Parker. Tony's is family-owned with 3 generations and 60 years of experience. Check out their selection at tonyscarsales.com or at 250 National Road West. Tony's Car Sales, where honesty, quality, and price sell cars. We'd like you to know why public power is important to you. In small towns and cities across America, locally owned public power systems like ours represent local people working together to meet local needs. Our only purpose is to provide an essential service at the lowest possible cost. This makes a big difference in rates and service, and all the benefits we produce at home stay at home. Richmond Power and Light, your locally owned electric utility. Together, we make powerful partners. It takes a lot of pieces working together to run a successful business in today's world. One big piece is your connectivity, powered by your internet. For local businesses in Richmond, you have options for who provides your internet. When deciding who to go with, you need to look at Parallax Systems, fiber optic packaging for your benefit. Speed, reliability, and local service, you get it all with Parallax Systems, a division of RP&L. Visit online at parallax.ws or call 962-3770.
It's game time. The Sportsplex is now open. Get your teams together and come out for basketball, volleyball, soccer, tennis, golf, batting cages, wrestling, and much, much more. The Sportsplex also offers court rentals for your entire team to play a pickup game or to hold practices. Use our turf fields for multiple sports, including flag football, baseball fielding, and rugby. Sportsplex is open 7 days a week. Check out FamilyFitnessWorks.com for more information and current hours, or call 765-935-0111.
There's only one place to go on the World Wide Web to find the best automotive deals. Wetzelauto.com. One of the area's largest inventories all in one spot. Wetzelauto.com. Here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Wetzelauto.com. New and used vehicles, service, parts, body shop, and rental. Plus, value your trade. It's easy to navigate. It's convenient. Wetzelauto.com. It's clickin' awesome.
We're back once again here at Randall R. Sadler Stadium as we get set for Game 1 this morning. And again, 2 more games following this one. And, of course, the whole routine a little bit different with the 9:30 contest. And it'll be the right-hander, Kyle Gorman, just a freshman, going now for the Quakers in this semifinal matchup. And, of course, the winner will advance on to the championship round coming up tomorrow. The loser will have to play again later today. And, boy, Kyle's been a pretty good pitcher this year, no doubt about it. This will be his 17th appearance, his 10th start, 2 complete games on the year, an ERA of 3.11 in 63 2/3 innings, giving up just 73 hits, 33 runs, 22 earned, 37 strikeouts, and 9 walks on the season, and again, 6-1 on the year. He'll be facing a Manchester team that, well, they're hitting pretty well, as we mentioned, well over 300. They hit the ball relatively well yesterday in their, again, back-and-forth contest against Mount St. Joe before pulling out that 7-6 win. Cloudy skies this morning. We're expecting things to be a little bit different as we warm up at a cool start to this Friday morning. Hopefully by the time we get to this afternoon, we'll get some sunshine for the first time in the last couple of days, but that'll be the big news here for today, if we can get some nice weather and have some good baseball the rest of the day, because yesterday, again, it was cloudy, but we had 2 good baseball games yesterday, both 1-run games, and really expecting nothing different here today, but we'll see how this all plays out as the Quakers and the number 1 seed, the number 2 Spartans, ready to do battle here this morning. Great to have you with us wherever you may be. All 3 games will be right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports. Mitch Blancaspor will be joining us here for hopefully a couple of innings this morning, give us his thoughts about not only yesterday but all the different things that are surrounding the tournament. As Braxton Riley will step in. Riley at .270, no home runs, 15 runs driven in the 3-game series earlier this year, went 6 for 11. And the first pitch is low and outside, 1 ball, no strikes. We are underway. Official start time at 9:32. It'll be Riley, Zarensky, and LaFollette. Second pitch on the way is in there for a strike.
And one of the things, Troy, we talked about sort of off-air today is how Kyle Gorman's going to adjust to being a weekend starter. He's been the midweek starter, done really well this year, 5-0, beat Mount St. Joe 3 times, to Bluffton twice, I believe. Or maybe it's Bluffton 3 times, Mount St. Joe twice. Either way, he had 5 wins in that stretch. But he has not pitched against an offense as good as Manchester in quite some time, and not on the weekend and not in the HCAC tournament. So we'll see how he adjusts.
Fly ball center field. Nate Lynch on the run, and he'll make the catch, 1 away.
It's always a good start, I think, right? Get that first out, sort of settle yourself down.
Yeah, always some nerves early.
I'd like to thank you on behalf of the athletics department, the HCAC, for being willing to broadcast all these games on your network. I know you've done the wedding tournament, which is over 20 basketball games in a 3-day span. So you're up for the challenge, but definitely it's a long day, and we really appreciate it.
We appreciate your work as well as Taylor Zarensky, 331, no home runs, 21 runs driven in the 3-game set earlier, 3 for 14 with an RBI as that pitch in there for a strike. By the way, Kyle only pitched in that 3-game set earlier up in Manchester. I think he might have thrown, 2/3 of an inning, so they really don't know too much about him from a scouting report standpoint. And it's quickly no balls, 2 strikes.
But we also know, Troy, this Manchester team can hit. One of the best teams in the conference, have been for quite some time under Coach Esposette.
That pitch is low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Speaking of all the different things that happened, of course, with the 2 games yesterday, and want everyone to check out GoEarlham.com for not only the day's recap, photos, videos, everything else. Just, a fun day yesterday and 2 really good baseball games.
Definitely.
Here's a fly ball into right field. That'll be Baker making the catch, and 2 away here in the first inning.
Yep, doing double duty, calling your color commentary and doing statistics while my student workers are in a May term here at class. But we've had a ton of help for this tournament, from public address all the way down to ticket takers, yourself, marketing, shooting photos. Everyone has just done a really good job, and for the first tournament that this department's put on in quite some time, we've gotten a lot of compliments.
LaFollette steps to the plate, 319, 5 home runs, and 33 runs driven in. That pitch inside. This young man right here, 8 of 15 in the first game, I should say the first series earlier this year. 2 balls and no strikes, 3 runs, and he drove in a couple of runs. And we mentioned that 3-game series up in Manchester ended up being a slugfest between these 2 teams. Gorman's next pitch, lone outside 3-0.
One thing I was going to say about Manchester, Troy, they lead the HCAC coming into this tournament in runs, RBIs, and at-bats against. They're also top 3 in hits, doubles, triples, home runs, extra base hits, total bases, hits by pitch, sacrifice flies, sacrifice hits, batting average, on-base percentage, and slugging percentage.
So we might see a lot of runs.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
3 balls and a strike now to La Follette. And Gorman's next pitch on the way, in there for a strike, and after falling down 3-0, he battles back to make it a 3-2 count. Of course, the next guy has had a nice year against Earlham. We'll talk about Schultz next. Here's a fly ball into right field. Should be another routine play for Kendall Baker, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning for Gorman and the Quakers. We will head to the bottom half of inning number 1. Manchester, nothing. Earlham coming to bat. This is the 2017 HCAC Baseball Tournament.
Summit Computers in Richmond is a full-service computer manufacturing and support company founded in 1997. They partner with businesses and individuals to provide computer systems, hardware, service, support, and design services. They also provide web hosting, high-speed wireless internet, network design, and much, much more. Summit Computers, the official provider of RadioTroy.com.
Best One Tire and Service has been committed to our partners since 1948. With more than 250 locations in 26 states, Best One puts over 1 million tires on the road every year. Superior tires, expert service, competitive prices. Best One Tire and Service, where the best costs less.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark with Best One of Richmond. Because Best One is one of Bridgestone's largest retailers, we offer exclusive Bridgestone savings. Visit us in Richmond to save on Bridgestone tires today.
Quakers will face a right-hander today as they will go against Taylor Coplin at 3-3 on the year, an ERA of 6.02. This is his 11th start, 58 in the third innings, giving up 86 hits, 45 runs, 39 earned, 35 strikeouts, and 15 walks on the year. Nate Lynch will lead things off. Lynch at 410 on the year, home run, 30 runs driven in. And in the 3-game set during the regular season, 7 of 14, 4 runs driven in, had a home run, scored 6 runs, and stole a couple of bases. And the first pitch on the way is low for a ball. Yesterday, Quakers did not steal a base, which is very unusual. It's a strike, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Looking back, sorry to interrupt you, Troy, there, only the 4th time all season that Earlham has failed to steal base. First time since April 21.
And it's 1-2. And I should mention that you look back over the last maybe 3 or 4 games, Earlham has not hit the baseball as well as they had earlier in the season. The pitch is outside 2-2, and so they're hoping to get this offense going here this afternoon, or should say this morning.
Also interesting that Copland's earned run average, as Nate's going to ground this pitch foul, his earned run average very similar to Cody Sunderhouse. I think Cody Sunderhouse is 6.04, and he pitched a pretty good ball game. Gave up 3 runs, no RBI hits for Earlham against Sunderhouse in that game. You had 2 sac flies and a ground out. Is Lynch going to start this with a base hit up the middle for the nation's leading stolen base threat? And one thing that Coach Sackis has pointed out to me yesterday, Troy, that Manchester as a team, opponents have stolen 64 of 76 attempts against this team. And again, I'm sure Earlham, especially Coach Brandon Pennington, third base coach, maybe a little bit chip on their shoulder yesterday, getting thrown out twice. So we'll see if Nate Lynch can maybe swipe a bag here and get a run in scoring position early for Earlham.
And as we have said time and time again, this is where Earlham really gets things going when they can get Nate Lynch on base. Barger, 321. 3 home runs, 23 runs driven in. He'll bunt first base side and bunts it foul.
Interesting to see a bunt from Matt Barger early on. I know, Troy, we talked about Earlham not done a lot of sacrifice this year. I know Kendall Baker specifically will bunt for base hits, but early in the game, you have your leadoff runner on base, stealing a lot of bases, and a guy who has 18 doubles on the year, the single-season record holder. Interesting you'd see a bunt early in the game from Coach Sackis. But maybe it wasn't called. Who knows?
So Barger, after fouling that one away, steps back in. The lead at first base by Lynch. The stretch as Coplin will deliver. This one bunted first base side. Copland will throw to first. Nearly threw that one away as Zarensky had to come off the base and get the baseball, but the sacrifice works to perfection as we'll see Lynch get to second base with one out.
Again, Troy, I don't disagree with it, but definitely interesting. I can't remember the last time we've seen Earlham bunt a runner over in the first inning.
Might be because they're not hitting as well. I mean, that certainly could be the case. So you want to try to generate something early as Brennan Laird will step to the plate. Laird hitting now at .329, ground ball to the right side. Here's Smith, and there's two away as Lynch will move on to third.
So be up to Eric Elkis coming in the game hitting .344 to drive the runner in. Also advancing the runner to third base, a wild pitch or pass ball or something could score Lynch, who has, as we've alluded to many times, a lot of wheels there at third.
Elkis, 8 home runs, 50 runs driven in, .344 on the year. He had a home run in that 3-game set earlier this year. 4 runs driven in as Copland set to throw on the pitch. His hit to right field, base hit. Lynch will score.
Could be a two-bagger for Elkis. He's going to dig for 2 here, Troy.
Yeah, LaFollette had a little bit of a hard time picking up that baseball. It'll be a double for Elkis and a good start for the Quakers as now Earlham on top 1-0.
So the second consecutive game, Troy, Earlham gets on the board with a run in the first inning. Also, really like to see from Eric, I know you've talked about before, largely a pull hitter.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see him take the fastball and let it come across the plate a little bit and drive one oppo.
Robertson, .265, 3 home runs, 22 runs driven in. Quakers get on the board first. Pitches up high. And you look now at 3 of his extra base hits now over the last 4 games have gone opposite field. 2 home runs and a double to the right side for Eric Elkis. The stretch again by Copland. Here's the pitch on the way, and that one swung on and hit foul. 1 ball and 1 strike, so the sacrifice and the ground ball to the right side ends up paying dividends after all for the Quakers. Getting on top of this one now 1-0 as Copland looks the runner back at second base. Boy, set the tone early, and that's exactly what the Quakers hoping to do here this morning. That pitch right down the middle for a strike, 1-2. Robertson only 2 for 8 in the regular season meeting.
Robinson kind of a streaky hitter, though, Troy. We saw him hit 3 home runs at Defiance. When he gets hot, he'll fan here, though, as broadcasters jinx will end the inning for the Quakers. But Earlham does get a run here in the bottom of the first and leads Manchester 1-0.
And we will take a timeout as well on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Earlham 1, Manchester 0. This is the 2017 HCAC Baseball Tournament.
For over 30 years, Reynolds Plumbing has been keeping the Richmond-Wayne County area running. Whether on commercial properties, restaurants, or residential, they've done quality plumbing, heating, and air work for thousands of customers. It's not just about the quality work, it's also about customer service. It's about attention to details and making absolutely sure you are 100% satisfied. If that's the kind of experience you want in your next plumbing or HVAC job, then Reynolds Plumbing has you covered. Give them a call at 966-0994.
2017 HCAC Baseball Tournament brought to you in part by New Vision Sports. It's a training program that focuses on the training and improvement of the serious athletes of all ages and skill levels, from creating customized workout plans to providing ongoing motivation and support. New Vision strives to help you achieve your training goals. Contact New Vision to schedule your workout by calling 977-5831 or going to their website, newvisionsports.com. That's newvisionsports with a Z.com. We head to inning number 2. Schultz, Nepper, and Gallatin all due up.
So again, Troy, we were talking off air. We had 3 outs for Kyle Gorman, which is obviously what you want. There were 3 balls hit in the outfield, 3 fly balls. So don't know if that's a little bit of a concern. Obviously, rather have strikeouts or soft ground. As we had 2 balls to right field hit pretty hard, I would say, and then 1 sort of lazy fly ball, can of corn there to center.
Schultz takes that pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. By the way, Schultz, 6 of 15, 8 runs driven in with 3 home runs in the regular season against the Quakers. As that pitch drops in for a strike, and the count is even at 1-1. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swung on and missed.
One thing I noticed, too, Troy, with Kyle Gorman, again, I'm no expert in baseball pitching. The art of pitching, as Jim Price would say for the Detroit Tigers. But Gorman's cadence, I think, is really important. The time at which he takes in between pitches. When he's going, you can tell he's got his cadence, and it looks like he does here early on in this game.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, he'll be challenged by Schultz, 8 home runs, 41 runs driven in. Here's the break-even pitch, and got him with a breaking ball. First strikeout now for Kyle Gorman. And you're right, he looks like he is on a very good rhythm early. Here is Eric Knepper. Knepper, 254, 5 home runs and 31 runs driven in.
Number 4, Eric Knepper.
So Knepper with 1 out, left-handed hitter, first left-handed hitter. Now as Kyle Gorman set to throw, and this one is grounded to the right side. There's Barger, the second baseman, throw to first, 2 away. And here's Joe Gallatin.
As I was going to say, Troy, he's set down the first 5 Spartans, but he's going to be challenged up and down this lineup. So definitely got to continue his good performance thus far for the freshman.
Well, Gallatin, 7 of 14 with a couple of home runs and 4 runs driven in the regular season against Earlham pitching. So some of these guys have put up some pretty good numbers in that 3-game series. Mm-hmm. Pitch is high and inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the wind and the pitch. Here's a strike. By the way, virtually no wind today to this point. Again, we're hoping to see some sunshine today and a beautiful day as we get ready for 3 games. This one a fly ball into left field. There is Shake, and another 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Gorman and the Quakers. We head to the bottom half of inning number 2 on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Quakers on top of this one, 1-0. This is the 2017 HCAC baseball tournament.
There are banks that are big, and then there's West End Bank, a bank with big ideas to help people, business, and industry. If you're just starting out on your own and want a new car, West End can help. Maybe it's your first home and you need advice on financing. West End Bank has ideas to help you. West End Bank, helping build better lives and a better community. West End Bank is a community bank with big ideas and home to a distinctive style of banking. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hey, Chuck, where are you headed? Spinning's about to start.
I'm heading to CrossFit.
Isn't that for, like, the elite lifters or athletes only?
No. At FFW CrossFit, all workouts can and will be scaled to any ability level to welcome everyone.
Sounds great. I need to get out of the same old workout routine. I'm just not sure I can keep up. It seems pretty intense.
No real lifting experience is needed. FFW CrossFit teaches you everything you need to know and move at your own pace in a positive, motivating environment.
You know, I've always wanted to give it a try. I'll see you there.
Learn more at ffwcrossfit.com.
Cody Krumloff will lead things off as we move to the bottom half of the second inning. Krumloff, Dopp, and Shake. Cody on the year hitting a .318, 3 home runs and 30 runs driven in. Will take that pitch for a strike. He thought that was low and outside, and I have a tendency to agree with him on that one. Here's the wind by Copland in the pitch. Inside 1-1. Defensively, we should have mentioned earlier, Pritz behind the plate, Zerensky at first, Smith at second, Riley at short, Clark down at third. This pitch is swung on, chopped to the third baseman, Clark. That'll be a fair ball, and that'll be an infield base hit. Clark thought that ball was going to go foul. He got it at the last moment, and that'll be a base hit for Krumloff.
Yeah, it was interesting, Troy. I feel like if you're Clark, maybe you're supposed to wait and see if that ball goes foul. I know talking to Mark Atkins, the sports information director at Manchester, Clark transitioned to third base in the last couple games, so maybe not as familiar with the position. But again, a bang-bang play, and you got to make a decision quick, and just Cody happened to not hit it hard. One of those things where it's not, a pretty single, but it is a base hit.
In the scorebook, it looks all the same as Danny Dopp, 336 on the year, game-winning hit yesterday. Takes that pitch low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, what a year he has had as a freshman, taking over down at third base for the Quakers.
A native of West Michigan, where I'm from, a South Haven native, about 40 minutes south of Holland from the lakeshore. I'm from a southern suburb of Grand Rapids, so about an hour and 20 minutes from Danny's hometown.
And has to be a Michigan fan, right?
He is a big University of Michigan fan. That's correct.
Ground ball shortstop Riley will step on the bag, throw to first, and a 6 unassisted 6-3 double play. And Quakers will have their base runner erased, and that'll bring up Isaiah Hcac now with 2 away.
I think that was a big out for Copland, Troy. Big 2 outs early in this game. Giving up a run in the first, 3 hits, leadoff runner on base with the guy who won Game 1 for Earlham up to the plate and just delivered and got the ground ball double play there. So really, really big. I would say that's one of the bigger at-bats early in this game here, and Manchester won it.
Isaiah will foul that one away as Isaiah Hcac will step up for the first time. 321 in the year, no home runs and 22 runs driven in. He was 4 of 12 during the regular season against Manchester. Takes that pitch for a strike, and he is quickly behind at 0-2. Boy, you look at some of those RBI numbers of both these teams in that 3-game series. It was crazy as that pitch is outside.
But again, we were talking off here, Manchester with a smaller ballpark, and when the wind starts to howl, the ball gets over those trees up there at Gratz Field, the ball tends to fly quite a bit.
The 1-2 pitch on the way, grounded down the line. Third baseman Clark will backhand the long throw, and Zarensky stays on the bag at first base. And that'll do it for the Quakers here in inning number 2. We will head to the top half of the third inning. Quakers on top of this one, 1-0. This is the 2017 HCAC Baseball Tournament.
Are new cabinets on your wish list? Visit the new Georgia Direct showroom and see the great variety of cabinets on display in a modern setting. Georgia Direct carries quality craft-made one cabinets, and the new showroom has plenty of styles and colors on display. In Richmond, craft-made one is only available at Georgia Direct, where the designers are always on hand to help create a custom kitchen for your home. Visit Georgia Direct's new showroom on 40 East, next to Red Lobster. You'll love what you see, and you'll love the savings at Georgia Direct.
Hello, my name is Kyle Schwarzkopf. I'm the manager of Kyle's National Road Auto and business in Richmond since 1979. We employ ASE certified technicians, and we have over 80 years of experience. We work on all domestics and most European and Japanese cars. Give us a call at 966-1555. Kyle's National Road Auto Service. My name is Kyle Schwarzkopf, and I approve this message.
Kyle Gorman taking his final warm-up tosses as we move now to the third inning. Clark, Pritz, and Smith. Troy Derengowski along with Mitch Blanca Sport. Check out, of course, the Earlham website, also the official tourney website there as well as GoEarlham.com.
Definitely thanks to Mike Lepresti for writing the Day 1 recap. Also, you can find that on GoEarlham.com. And again, as I've said multiple times, it takes a lot of people to put a tournament on like this.
And so far, I think it has run extremely smooth as the pitch. Breaking ball is outside. Kevin Clark, 373 on the year. A home run. He has driven in 11. And the third baseman steps back in. The pitch on the way. Fastball down the middle for a strike.
One of the things in the game notes from Manchester, again, thanks to Mark Adkins, SID, for the Spartans for sending this along. Manchester's 33-23 all-time in the HCAC tournament. Big cut there. Good off-speed pitch by Gorman, trailing only Rose Holman, who joined the league a little bit later in percentage. Manchester's at like 59%. Rose Holman is 17-10, 63%. And these Quakers are 3-4.
Pitch is just outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gorman gets the sign. The break-even pitch on the way. Got him with another breaking ball. How about that? 2 strikeouts, and Gorman is on his game today.
Yeah, breaking ball really working well, Troy, today.
Well, the one thing about it, I think, we talk about that Gorman doesn't have, and you mentioned it earlier, this experience right now, but I'll tell you one thing for sure. If it's a scouting report they were looking for, the Manchester doesn't have one much on Kyle Gorman as Matt Pritz at 183 steps in. There's another breaking pitch, and what you see in that breaking ball right there is the sharp break right at the very end of the pitch. Gorman with the 0-1, fastball low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Of course, the entire routine of everyone off today with a 9:30 start time. That's another breaking ball that stays inside. 2-1 now to Pritz. Pritz out of LaPorte, Indiana.
It's up north, right? By
up north.
Gary.
Yep. good baseball program and a lot of state championships.
Is that where La Lumiere is also
Yes.
up there as
Yep.
well, the basketball high school national champions powerhouse?
Yeah. Yep, that's the place. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way, grounded foul.
Also like to give a shout-out. This is the HCAC tournament for baseball, and there's been a couple other HCAC tournaments, the Pioneers of Transylvania winning the softball tournament, Hanover College winning golf, winning track and field for the women, Rose Holman winning track and field for the men, Transylvania winning men's golf. So a lot of teams in the NCAA tournament for this conference.
Fly ball center field. Lynch is there. He'll make the catch, 2 away.
Also, shout out to Rose Holman for winning men's tennis as well as winning the conference's first NCAA tournament match, defeating Wheaton College 5-4. So pretty big win there for the conference in men's tennis.
Here's Christian Smith. 272, no home runs. He has driven in 10. He's 1 for 7 against the Quakers this year. 8 in a row set down now by Kyle Gorman to start this one, and the right-hander's pitch is up high, 1 ball, no strikes. We are winding down the spring season, pretty close to being finished. Here's the 1-0. Fly ball, and that'll go foul. Boy, you'd think you'll have June, July, and you're right back at it again, huh?
Absolutely.
Of course, you'll be a different man by then. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Here's
Let's not talk about that.
Fly ball into right field as Baker's there, and another 1-2-3 inning for Gorman and the Quakers as we will head to the bottom half of inning number 3. Earlham on top of this one, 1-0. This is the 2017 HCAC baseball tournament.
There is one thing for sure in my life. I know nothing about fixing cars. That's why I take my vehicles to Beach Automotive at 110 East Main in Richmond. Their experts have the knowledge to service and repair even the most challenging auto problems. So if you have an automotive question, they have the answers at Beach Automotive, 110 East Main in Richmond. Or give them a call at 765-966-8181 or visit their website, beach-auto.com.
Hey, the 2016 HCAC baseball tournament is being brought to you in part by Harrington Hoke Insurance. At Harrington Hoke, they spend every day working to make our community better, safer, and more enjoyable because their focus is on insurance, and that's it. They're on top of industry changes and are a one-stop shop for all your insurance needs, whether it's business, personal, life, or health. That's why when it comes to protecting you and what's important to you, Harrington Hoke insures it. Give them a call at 962-9502 or go to their website at harringtonhoke.com. Baker, Lynch, and Barger for the Quakers here in the bottom half of inning number 3. Kendall at 286, no home runs. He has driven in 19 as Copland started to work from the stretch. And now we'll set to the windup. So maybe feels a little more comfortable here as this one is grounded to the right side and throw to first in time, 1 away. And that'll bring up Nate Lynch.
Nate Lynch, the program's leader in a lot of career statistics in hits and runs, stolen bases, also leads the country in stolen bases.
And he got the first hit here today for the Quakers. Later scored as that pitch is outside. Boy, if Earlham can win this one without getting a ton of stolen bases again like they normally do. There's a base hit into left field, so Lynch 2 for 2.
Well, talking about stolen bases, Troy, we'll see if we can do it again here.
That is now the 4th hit for the Quakers, and Lynch has 2 of them. And Barger, I don't think Barger this time is going to sacrifice.
I was going to say, I don't think so either. But if you're Manchester, I think you got to be aware with Nate Lynch really looking to take off at first base.
Yeah. And that's why I think you'll see Barger take a couple of pitches. Normally, he may not do so, but they want to get this running game going at some point. Throw it to first, almost threw it away.
We had 2 errors in the first game of this tournament, Troy, on pitchers.
Yeah.
You had one, Howie Smith, throwing it away in the second inning. And then you had a Rose Holman error. Forget what position it was on, but that ended up scoring the game-winning run there in the 10th inning.
Yeah, you look at those first 2 games yesterday, there were walks and errors that really were deciding factors in both games. That pitch high and inside, 2-0.
Yeah, I think I remember you saying in the Mount St. Joseph Manchester game, Manchester scored its first 3 runs on walks.
Yeah. Yeah, early walks will kill you every time. And now Copland behind at 2 balls, no strikes. This one hit well, but foul. And I'll tell you what, Matt Barger turned on that pitch. He was guessing fastball, and he guessed a little early. 2 balls and a strike now to Barger. Nate Lynch at first base. The stretch by Copland. And time called. Barger does the best. Something is in my eye every time he steps out of the batter's
yeah,
box.
that's right.
Every time he'll check the eye.
Yeah, that's right. Very ritualistic game.
That's
game
right.
Of baseball.
That's right. Well, you got to make it look convincing, and just get a timeout for no reason. And Barger is going to think, well, there's something there. I need to ask him about that. 2-1 to Matt. The stretch by Copland. The pitch runner takes off. The pitch is high. Throw down to second base, and not in time, or did they get him? Wow! That's a tough call right there. I'll tell you, well, there's no doubt about it. I thought Lynch got underneath that tag.
Yeah, I thought he did too, but Coach Sakaset's going to ask the umpire. The throw was very high.
Yes.
Also, that'll be the 3rd caught stealing for Earlham in this tournament and have yet to steal a base. This decision holds and looks like it will. Pardon me.
Yeah, there's. You can argue it. You're not going to get anywhere, but you certainly want to state your case that was a bad call that time on Nate Lynch because his hand was well in.
Yeah, I definitely thought he was safe as well from here. But again, we're not wearing the black umpire suits, and it's their call to make.
Wow.
So it will be a caught stealing.
3 balls and a strike to Barger. Well, we saw, in fact, the umpire crew has shifted. So we saw the third base umpire yesterday have a couple of tough calls down at second base. So Barger steps in. Here's the pitch on the way, and he missed low.
And was that the second baseman or the shortstop that tagged him?
That was the shortstop.
Yeah. So this is the second time, Troy, we had yesterday, Earlham had 2 stolen bases that would have come around to score with a walk and a hit, and here you had a 3-1 count, 2-1 count that Lynch stole on, and now Barger gets a free base. So Lynch would have been at second without a steal. And again, I alluded to this off the air yesterday that Earlham has not been punished for running much this year, but in this tournament, the offense has been.
Yeah, it certainly has.
But again, give credit to the catchers. I thought Zach Trusk for Rose was excellent yesterday, throwing 2 runners out.
Oh, no balls and a strike to Laird. Throw to first. Of course, you look at Barger. He has 23 stolen bases, so they'll have to keep an eye on him as well. Brandon 0 for 1. He grounded out his first time up. Copland gets the sign from Pritz. And the pitch. Grounded toward the shortstop, Riley. He bobbles it. Can he recover in time? No. That'll be an error on the shortstop, Riley. First error of the ball game.
Second time Brennan Laird's reached via an error, Troy. Again, he scored the game-winning run yesterday.
2 away. Here's Elkus doubled and drove in the game's only run in the first inning. Elkus now with 5 runs driven in 4 games against Manchester this season. We'll see if the Quakers can get a run here in the third inning. The pitch on the way is a breaking ball that stays up high. And we mentioned earlier, you mentioned about him going opposite way. We're talking about 3 extra base hits to right field in the last 4 games.
Which one might say is atypical of his career. But
well, he's going to go that way again. LaFollette near the line will make the catch just in foul territory, and the Quakers will end up leaving. Couple of runners on base here in the bottom of the third inning. We will head to the top half of inning number 4. The Quakers on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard lead this one 1-0.
The dealership where I bought my car told me I needed new tires. So, of course, I stopped by Best One and asked Roger to take a look. So they checked it out, and he told me not yet. He said I was good for at least another 10,000 miles. I've always gotten an honest opinion at Best One, and so will you.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark at Best One Tire and Service. We'll only sell you tires when you need new tires, and they'll be the right tires for your car or truck. I guarantee it.
Best One Tire and Service, North 7th and A, Uptown Richmond.
The 2017 HCAC Baseball Tournament being brought to you in part by your Richmond area Subways. Each day of the week you can get a different 6-inch sub. No artificial flavors or colors, just $3.50. It is Friday. You get the tuna, Saturday the Black Forest ham, and then Sunday the meatball marinara. Treat yourself at Subway. 4 locations in Richmond and Hagerstown. Subway. Eat fresh.
Was just going to say, Troy, talking to our public address announcer Chad Nickham off air, that run would have come around to score had the stolen base happened, or you even don't steal. Walk puts Lynch on second, the error puts Lynch on third, and then that fly ball to right field likely would have scored on a sacrifice fly. So another run potentially taken off the board there by the defense of Manchester.
Riley will lead things off here in the 4th inning. It'll be Riley, Zarensky, and LaFollette.
Leading off the top of the 4th inning, the shortstop, number 7, Braxton Riley.
Riley 0 for 1 so far, no hits for the Spartans through 3 is Kyle Gorman. 2 strikeouts.
No hits, no base runners either.
No base runners either. So the right-hander's first pitch on the way is outside for a ball. Well, everything opposite of what we may have seen in those 3 regular season games so far here today. Just 4 base hits and 1 run between these 2 ball clubs.
You know, Mike Lepresti wrote in his recap, Troy, yesterday was kind of atypical, too. You had Manchester, who was 7th in stolen bases in the conference, stole 6 bases, and Earlham was number 1 and stole none.
That's exactly right. This one tapped in front of the plate. That'll be a foul ball. Well, that is such a huge part of Earlham's game that you look back at it. Of course, now Hcac is coming out again. He thought that ball was a fair ball, and so the home plate umpire explained to him why it was a foul ball. So Braxton Riley will step back in with a count of 2 balls and a strike.
From my vantage point, Troy, that was definitely off of the batter and was a foul ball.
The 2-1 pitch in there for a strike. Nice breaking ball again.
I think Kyle Gorman hasn't fallen behind many hitters earlier today, or so far today, Troy, but when he has, he's delivered with a pitch to get back even in the count.
By the way, only 1 3-ball count so far as that pitch is inside. There's your second. So we're going to go full count. Just the second time we've seen a full count. It was LaFollette back in the first inning. Went 3-2 and ended up lining out to right field. The payoff pitch on the way, and he got him swinging. 3rd strikeout now for Kyle Gorman. 1 away now here in the 4th. Here's Zarensky.
In fact, Troy, he's led off the 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th inning with a strikeout swinging, and I think most of them have been with that breaking ball on the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, he's doing a nice job setting these guys up low and away and then coming back with that breaking pitch. And that's not the sharp break. He has another pitch that's a lot sharper than that one, but Zarensky falls behind at 0-1. More of almost like a cutter-type fastball is what he throws. And there's some good movement on that one as well, and Zarensky behind at 0-2. Boy, you had the year that we looked back last year as that pitch low and outside for the winning pitcher yesterday for the Quakers. And then today you're looking at maybe another freshman coming up big. There's a swing and a miss. The tag laid on. And there's 2 straight strikeouts now for Gorman. 2 away in the inning. And that'll bring up LaFollette. And you go back to yesterday, Walter Talcott, of course, who had the 10 wins yesterday. It's kind of interesting to watch now. You're seeing the Earlham coaching staff developing young pitchers, coming in as freshmen and making huge strides in their freshman year.
I was going to say, especially given the first 2 weeks of the season, is this a pop-up, a mile high here, should be playable for Barger. And it is to end the inning, but I was just going to say, Troy, that the first 2 weeks of this year, you know, when they got to Sadler Stadium for the first time, this team had an ERA over 9. I mean, I think it was in double digits at one point in time. Yeah. You know, so especially Gorman and even Colin Greavy and Jordan Christian and some other freshmen. I talk about Spencer Owen out of the bullpen, which we can get to later. But, again, another 1-2-3 inning there for Kyle Gorman.
This is the 2017 HCAC Baseball Tournament.
There's a place in Richmond's Depot District that's better than being home. Little Sheba's is a lot like the bar in that 80s TV show where everybody knows your name. Come on down after the game on Fridays and join us for pizza. We're here till 11. Or grab some friends and come play live trivia Thursday nights at 6:30. If you love live music, Little Sheba's features some of the very best every weekend. Where else can you find this kind of variety along with some of the best food and friends in town? Little Sheba's in Richmond's Depot District. It really is better than being home.
Leading off
1-0 as we head now to the bottom half of inning number 4. It'll be Robertson to lead things off for the Quakers. Robertson, Krumloff, and Dopp. Copland's first pitch is a called strike. Robertson struck out back in the first inning. The wind and the pitch, low and outside.
Seems to me, Troy, from a naked eye, that Copland has kind of a similar motion to Eck, kind of a different sort of a windy, over-the-top motion. I know Coach Sagsitz is saying that it's difficult to pick up if you have kind of a funkier motion like that. I mean, Copland's a little more normal than Eck, but I see some similarities.
Pitches in there for a strike. And, Eck yesterday, you could kind of tell sometimes he would telegraph the off-speed pitch coming up over the top. Here's the break-even pitch, and it looked just like that right there. Count is even at 2-2. As a hitter, if you can see that delivery quick enough, you can pretty much tell what pitch is coming. Copland gets the sign, the break-even pitch again. Fastball line back up the middle. That's a base hit. So Robertson guessing right. Got the fastball. Quakers pick up their 5th hit. Now let's see if they can get something going again here in the 4th inning. Quakers have had a base runner in 3 of the 4 innings.
Number 5, Cody Krumloff.
Cody singled back in the 2nd inning. Cody now 5 of 14 in the 4 games played with 5 runs driven in. Copland comes set. Third baseman Clark coming in to throw to first. Clark will now back up a couple of steps, anticipating no bunt attempt right here. Runner takes off. That'll go into left center field. That's going to be extra bases. Diving for it is Nepper. He won't come up with it. Rounding third is Robertson. He's going to score. And Cody Krumloff with a double, and the Quakers now lead it 2-0.
Yep, Cody Krumloff definitely known for those sort of gap hits, and won't be an error there on the left fielder. No. He tried to make a play and did stop the ball, but Addison Robertson, who's got above average speed, going to go 270 feet on that double and score the second run of the game, so 6th hit of the game for the Quakers.
Cody Krumloff with his 31st run driven in. That'll bring up Danny Dopp. The infield will play medium depth right now with a runner at second, which is kind of unusual here, as that breaking ball in there for a strike. Boy, the right side, you look at the first baseman, Zarensky, he came in front of that white line, which indicates the base path on that right side. This is a fly ball to right field. LaFollette on the run, the dead sprint. He won't come up with it. This one will fall foul. And Danny down the count, no balls, 2 strikes. You know, Cody Krumloff, you're going to look up and down this lineup, and he just kind of mixes in. Of course, his defense is just uncomparable to many in the HCAC. But, you know, the guy hits over 300, is driving in over 30 runs, and takes care of a young pitching staff the way he does. Just kind of goes unnoticed as that one is fouled away. The real baseball people notice what Krumloff is to this team. Coaching staff does as well, but just kind of quietly does his job. Here's the 0-2 pitch again, and good job by Danny to foul that one away.
That's a good point, Troy, that Krumloff has good offensive numbers, but not as good as some of the other people in this lineup, but known for defensive prowess, but he can definitely drive in runners when he needs to.
Yeah, anything you can get from your catcher like that. Here's the 0-2 pitch, high and outside, and I just love the way he plays behind the plate. He's a really very fundamental catcher. He's going to be a tough one to replace. The stretch once again by Copland. The pitch on the way, and it's low and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And here's where you have a disciplined hitter, Danny Dopp. 336 on the year, 31 runs driven in, and as a freshman to have that discipline to lay off that pitch. Here's the break even on the way, and again in the dirt. Runner takes off. Throw down to third, not in time. That'll be a wild pitch. And now Krumloff at third base. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Danny again, the game-winning RBI yesterday as Copland from the windup hits this one into right field. LaFollette going back on it, makes the catch. Runner third will tag, and Dopp will get an RBI on the sacrifice fly, and the Quakers now lead this one 3-0. Well, Dopp did what he had to do. He took it to right field and hit it deep enough to score the run. 32 runs driven in now by Danny Dopp. And Earlham has put 2 runs on the board. And here's Isaiah Shake. Copland set to throw on the right-hander's pitch. Grounded toward Clark. Knocks it down. Picks it up. Throws, but not in time. And let's see if they'll score that in air.
Yep, will be E5 there. Second error of the ball game for Manchester. And Isaiah Shake on first base.
Here's Kendall Baker, 0 for 1.
Now batting the right fielder, number 1.
And the mentality always is make the other team pay for their mistakes. Let's see if Kendall Baker can keep things going. Shake with a good lead down at first. Copland will come set and throw to first base. Three 0 Quakers. Copland with the pitch. Lined into center field, base hit. Shake will stay at second. Quakers now with their 7th hit, and now we're starting to see this offense click. 3 hits in the inning. Pritz will going to talk with Copland as he left that one out over the plate, and now we'll see Nate Lynch, who is 2 for 2.
Yep, Nate with 2 singles, came around to score in the first. Also to note, Troy, we talked about Kyle Gorman striking out the first batter in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th inning. Earlham has gotten a leadoff single all 4 innings.
That's the way to start it.
Huge.
Yeah. We're going to have a visit to the mound as this is a slow walk, and we're going to see the bullpen get active now for Manchester. And this will also give Earlham a chance to talk with their base runners and Nate Lynch. Want to remind you of today's game brought to you in part by Jason Wise of Better Homes and Gardens First Realty Group. He has an idea for an alternative fundraiser for your school group or nonprofit. If you list, buy, or refer a customer and mention this promotion, he'll donate 10% of what he makes on the transaction to the school group or nonprofit of your choice in your name. Tell your friends, family, and colleagues to mention this offer when listing with Jason Wise at Better Homes and Gardens First Realty Group. Give him a call at 969-3400. And by the way, Jason, a graduate of Earlham College. Played on the football team a few years ago. Now his best trade is he eats at Elro a lot.
As does Troy Derengowski at times.
Not as much as I used to. I got to get slender like you now, man.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. So, got some stats for you, Troy, about how important it is to win the first 2 games of this tournament. In the last 7 years, this being the 7th, so the last 6 years, the 6 years Earlham's been a member of the conference, the team that has gone 2-0 in a championship round has won every single tournament. Here's a wild pitch, and this is going to put ducks on the pond here for the Quakers.
Well, you're exactly right, Mitch. You get these 2 games right here, and you're kind of setting yourself up for a championship, and that's why, again, getting that first one is huge, but boy, this second game, and right now setting things up well for the Quakers as Copland will now work from the windup. The infield is in. The pitch on the way is outside, ball 2.
So you talked about earlier a big at-bat that was won by Copland earlier on that double play. Here's another big at-bat. Your team's trailing 3-0, out hit 7-0, and runners at second, third. Infield's in.
Well, there's no play at the plate, but a run will score as Isaiah Shake did a nice job getting a break down at third base, and Nate Lynch will drive in another run, and the Quakers now lead this one 4-0.
Will be unearned, though. Give Coppin a little bit of credit. That wasn't error. And so another thing, Troy, about this tournament, in the last 6 seasons, again, that's the mark that I'm using because that's when Earlham joined the conference. As I said, the team that has won their first 2 games has won every single tournament, and 5 of those 6, they've won the first game on Saturday and haven't even needed a second. In 2012, Rose-Hulman was the top seed, did not go 2-0. Manchester went 2-0, got beat by Anderson in the first game, but then won the second.
Swing and a miss by Barger.
Also in the 6 years, the number 1 seed has won 3 of the tournaments and not won the other 3.
1 ball, 1 strike to Barger. Runner down at third. That is Kendall Baker. The pitch on the way. This one is lined and to the shortstop, Riley. And that'll do it for the inning, but the Quakers pick up 3 runs. We will head to the top half of inning number 5. Quakers on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard lead this one 4-0. This is Earlham Baseball, and this is the 2017 HCAC Baseball Tournament.
Maybe you haven't heard, but there's a place in Richmond's Depot District that's better than being home. Little Sheba's is a lot like the bar in that 80s TV show Cheers. You know, where everybody knows your name. Come on down after the game on Fridays and join us for pizza. We're here till 11. Or grab some of your friends and try out a game of live trivia Thursday nights at 6:30. If you love live music, Little Sheba's features some of the very best every weekend. Where else are you going to find this kind of variety, along with some of the best food and friends in town? Little Sheba's in Richmond's Depot District. It really is better than being home.
Earlham Baseball and the HCAC Baseball Tournament being brought to you by Square Donuts of Richmond. Whether it's a delicious breakfast, afternoon treat, or midnight snack, everyone loves the taste of Square Donuts of Richmond. Enjoy their huge cinnamon rolls or any of the other crowd favorites, including maple bacon, strawberry cheesecake, Oreo cream, pumpkin spice, and more. And, of course, grab those award-winning glazed donuts, voted the #1 donut in the entire state. Proud to be your favorite donut shop, at home to the best donuts in town and the only squares around, Square Donuts of Richmond. It'll be Schultz, Nepper, and Gallatin all due up as we move to the 5th inning. Schultz struck out back in the second. Manchester still looking for their first hit of the day. So far it has been all Kyle Gorman. And the right-hander's first pitch on the way is hit back up the middle, and there it is. So it took till the 5th inning before the Spartans could get their first base hit. And that'll bring up Eric Nepper. Nepper grounded out back in the 2nd inning.
So now if you're Kyle Gorman, again, Troy, give a leadoff hit, the first runner on base, the first hit for the Spartans, and that sort of cat's out of the bag. And
well, and sometimes you get to thinking about that a little bit too much. Nepper steps in and takes that pitch for a strike. And then you can just settle yourself down and just try to pitch a good ball game the rest of the way. The stretch and the pitch. That drops in for a strike. Good movement on his pitches today, and it's all late breaking. Hitters are thinking that pitch is going to be either inside, outside, high or low, and so far Kyle Gorman's been able to spot his pitches. Here's the pitch on the way, high and outside. Good waist pitch that time. 1-2 now to Nepper. Schultz with a lead down at first base. And the pitch by Gorman is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Our second game of the day coming up at around 12:30. Mount St. Joe against Rose. The
elimination game,
which is always a lot of fun. You either win or go home now. That breaking ball hit foul. And we'll stay at 2-2. That means you throw everything in the kitchen sink out on that one, as you're going to try to survive and play later today. Gorman gets the sign from Krumloff. And the pitch on the way, lined into right center field. That's going to be extra bases. Schultz heading to third. Baker and Lynch having a difficult time picking up the baseball. Heading to third will be Nepper, and it's a 4-1 game. So a triple by Nepper as he drives in his 32nd run of the year. 2 hits in the inning. And still no outs. And here's Joe Gallatin. A lot of times they'll say your second or third time around, you start to figure out a pitcher a little bit better. Gallatin 0 for 1. As Gorman comes set in the pitch. That's in there for a strike. Gorman will shake off the sign now. Gets the one he wants from Krumloff. Here's the pitch on the way. Grounded deep in the hole. Backhanded by Laird. He will get up and throw and cannot make the play at first base. Another run will score. Gallatin will get credit for a infield base hit, and it's 4-2. And just like that, a brand new ball game. Gallatin with his 45th run driven in.
Yeah, you saw Manchester, who had no hits and no runners on base in the 4 innings. All of a sudden, 3 hits in a row and 2 runs across the plate.
Boy, this game can change quickly. Here is Kevin Clark. The pitch hit into center field. Lynch back a few steps into his right will make the catch. And Gallatin back to first, and there is one away.
Still pretty hard hit ball, though, for Manchester.
Here is Pritz. Pritz flew out to center field back in the 3rd inning.
Number 29, Matt Pritz.
Pritz has taken over that catching spot here for the Spartans. He was not playing earlier in the year, but now with the way he plays defensively, they put him in the lineup. And he'll take that pitch for a strike. In fact, you look back, he only had 4 at-bats in the 3-game set against Earlham earlier this year. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Another breaking ball stays inside. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 away here in the top of the 5th inning. 2 runs across. 3 hits in the inning now for the Spartans. Gorman's pitch hits him. Tried to come inside, and that will send Pritz on down to first. And now they'll try to settle things down for Gorman. Runners at first and second with a 1 out, and here's Christian Smith. The last thing you want to see here is a big inning now for Manchester. Players came in and talked with Gorman. Coaching staff will show confidence in the freshman right-hander.
Christian Smith.
Smith 0 for 1 flew out in the 3rd inning.
Here's another big at-bat of the game here, Troy. Got to lock in here if you're Kyle Gorman. Maybe get that ground ball.
Yeah,
could end the inning.
Double play right. Here's the pitch in there for a strike.
Good start.
Well, it helps to have your teammates come in and help settle you down a little bit. 2 of the seniors, Laird and Elkis at first base. The stretch again by Gorman, the late kick and the pitch, and he shows bunt. The pitch coming inside. I'll tell you what, Smith trying to coax a hit by pitch, and he looked back at the home plate umpire and said, "It didn't hit you." 1 ball and 1 strike. Gorman again ready to throw. The pitch on the way, and it's outside. He's missed badly 2 straight. And I'm not sure if it's because the hitter, Christian Smith, has been showing bunt that he has Gorman off his game a little bit here in the 5th inning. The stretch again by the right-hander, and the pitch on the way. Bunted first base side, and that'll go foul. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to the number 9 hitter. Smith now 1 for 8 in 4 games against the Quakers this season. Gallatin at second base. Pritz is at first. Still just 1 away here in the top of the 5th inning. Longest inning so far now for Kyle Gorman. The pitch on the way, and he hits it foul. And we'll stay at 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's again a situation, who's going to guess what right here? Let's see what Gorman will come with. And the right-hander's pitch is just off the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now Krumloff did his best right there to frame that one on the outside corner. Earlham dugout was asking the location of that pitch, and it was a little bit outside. Here's the payout pitch on the way. Runners take off, and the pitch is low. We've got the bases loaded. And we'll go to the top of the order now, and Riley Braxton. So now we'll have a visit to the mound once again as Gorman sailing through 4. And now finding himself in a little bit of trouble here in the 5th inning. Again, game 2 coming up at around 12:30 this afternoon. The elimination game, and then we'll have the final game of the day at around 4 o'clock. And that will be another elimination game, and the championship game tomorrow. That will get underway at noon. If we go to a if necessary game, that'll be at around 3:30 tomorrow. So now Braxton Riley 0 for 2. Now 6 of 13 in the 4 games. Struck out his last time up in the 4th inning. 6 hitters have been sent to the plate so far for Manchester here in the 5th. And Gorman just trying to get out of this with no further damage. Here's the pitch on the way, and a breaking ball falls in for a strike. First time we have had the bases loaded either way. As Gorman gets the sign again from Krumloff, here's the pitch. And another breaking ball in there for a strike. He has thrown that pitch pretty well. Coach Sack will talk about pitches that you own or pitches that you borrow, and that's one he owns. Very confident in throwing that pitch, apparently, in any situation, in whatever count it may be. The 0-2 on the way stays up high. And that's not a bad waste pitch right there. Makes sure Riley doesn't have anything to hit. Gallatin at third, Pritz down at second, Smith is at first. The stretch again by Gorman, the pitch on the way, and it's popped up foul. That'll go out of play. And we will stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes. The leadoff hitter here for the Spartans, Braxton Riley. Spartans trying to win the 3rd time this season against Earlham. Gorman comes set, checks the runner at third. Here's the pitch, and got him swinging. That's a huge strikeout.
Another breaking ball in the outer half of the plate, Troy.
And got him for the 2nd time. And here's Zarensky. He is 0 for 2.
At the plate, the first baseman, number 13, Taylor Zarensky.
5 strikeouts now by Kyle Gorman. Boy, it'd be huge right here to leave the bases loaded. The stretch by Gorman, the leg kick and the pitch, and that one drops on the inside corner. Gorman, I would imagine, has thrown more pitches in this inning alone than he had the first 4. The 0-1 delivery on the way, just low and outside. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Zarensky 3 of 16 now in the 4 games. Gorman gets the sign, the pitch, hit foul. And we'll go to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Three straight hits to start the inning, and that's how things got going for Manchester. The Schultz single, the triple by Nepper, the single by Gallatin, and that's where we stand now at 4-2. Gorman comes set, the pitch, low and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gorman once again set to throw. Here's the break even. And low and outside, 3-2. Well, now you got to come somewhere around the plate, as you have nowhere to put this guy right here. And if Zarensky is guessing right, he's thinking fastball. See what Gorman will come with. The stretch by the right-hander, the pitch on the way. This one is hit to right field, and Baker is there, makes the catch, and the inning is over. But again, the Spartans pick up 2 runs here in the top of inning number 5. We will head to the bottom half of the 5th inning, and on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard on the 2017 HCAC Baseball Tournament, Earlham on top of this one, 4-2.
The last time I was in for service at Best One, I let Roger know my brakes were squeaking. So they checked them out, and Roger told me it was just a little moisture. Not to worry, everything was fine. Well, that was just the reassurance I needed. I trust the team at Best One, just like I trust my own dad.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark. At Best One Tire and Service, we only fix what needs to be fixed. When your car or truck leaves our shop, the service you requested will be done right. I guarantee it.
Best One Tire and Service, North 7th and A, Uptown Richmond.
At Richmond Power and Light, we're committed to Richmond. We've been a part of this community for over 114 years. We're not part of some big energy conglomerate, and we don't answer to out-of-town stockholders. Instead, we are accountable to you. And just like you, we want what's best for our hometown. That means you can count on us to provide reliable electricity at low rates. We are Richmond Power and Light, your hometown electric utility, building Richmond a better tomorrow.
Head to the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll see if the Quakers can get some of those runs back. It'll be Laird, Elkis, and Robertson. Brennan reached on an Aries last time up. Will take that pitch low, ball 1. Brennan now 0 for 2. Brennan has had success against Manchester this year as that pitch is outside. 2 balls, no strikes. 5 of 11 coming in and 7 runs driven in. You know, the Quakers haven't had a whole lot of stolen bases, not just today, but against Manchester as a whole, as that one is hit foul. Good cut by Brennan. 2 balls and a strike. Quakers 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Manchester 2, 3, and 2. Coplin now will step off as Pritz will go through another series of signs. Now the pitch on the way. Took something off that one. Got it across for a strike. And the count is even at 2-2. The break-even pitch on the way. Fly ball into right center field. Coming over is LaFollette, and he will reach up and make the catch. And there's one away. Here's Elkis. Well, the Quakers got that offense going a little bit in that 4th inning. Robertson, Krumloff, Baker all getting base hits. Elkis a double back in the 1st inning. He has driven in a run today. That pitch low and outside. Elkis now 51 RBI on the season. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Hit foul. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Earlham first baseman. The pitch on the way, lifted high and foul. Elkis out in front of that one. And we'll go to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Right-hander, in fact, a couple of right-handers up in the bullpen now for Manchester as this one is grounded toward the 3rd baseman, Clark. He will throw to first and almost off the mark as Elkis had to sidestep Zarensky at first base, but there's 2 away. Here's Addison Robertson.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 31, Addison Robertson.
Addison led off that 4th inning with a base hit, later scored the first of 3 runs in the inning. As Coplin set to throw, and this one will be tapped to the left side. Coplin comes off, throws a strike to first, and the Quakers go down easily here in the bottom of the 5th inning. We will head to inning number 6 on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Earlham on top of this one, 4-2.
Injured athletes can be evaluated at Reed Orthopedic Center, 1400 Highland Road in Richmond. Request a same-day or next-day appointment to be evaluated by medical professionals who specialize in strains, sprains, fractures, knee and shoulder injuries, concussions, and other sports-related orthopedic issues. Call 935-8905. That's 935-8905. Or request an appointment online at reedortho.org. Reed Orthopedic Center, 1400 Highland Road in Richmond.
Hey, this is Steve, and out at Jiffy Lube the other day, a customer came in and said, Steve, this was my 100th oil change on this car, and you've done them all.
Hi, my name is George Farrell, and I've been coming to Jiffy Lube for over 14 years. I recently just had my 100th oil change. I'd like to thank Steve Funkhauser and his staff for the great service that they've provided me over the years. Thank you to all, and I would recommend anyone to come to Jiffy Lube to get their car serviced.
Jiffy Lube, #1 in customer satisfaction for a reason.
Well, Kyle Gorman will come back now for inning number 6, and you're always curious to see how a young pitcher will respond after getting roughed up a little bit in the previous inning. And certainly for Manchester now, they feel a little more confident after really struggling through 4. LaFollette, Schultz, and Nepper all due up. LaFollette 0 for 2 today. Kyle giving up 2 runs, 3 hits in that 5th inning. Here's the first pitch, and it's inside for a ball. Well, Earlham again still unable to get their running game going. The 1-0 delivery on the way is in there for a strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Grounded to the third baseman, Danny Dopp. His throw to first in time, and there's one away. LaFollette now 0 for 3 on the day. So with one away, that'll bring up Chad Schultz.
Sorry, Troy, I was doing some research, but talking about how important it is to win the second game, to go 2-0 to start this tournament. In the 11 years that we've kept statistics prior, the team that's gone 2-0 has won every single HCAC tournament.
Wow, no kidding.
Yep. And 7 of the 11 times, the team that's gone 2-0 has won the third game on Saturday. Only 4 times has there been a second game played on the championship day.
Wow.
But also interesting, 8, as this pitch is just high for Gorman's, 2-0 now on Schultz. 8 of the 11 #1 seeds have not won, but 2 of the last 3 have. In Anderson 2 years ago and Rose-Hulman last year. So some interesting statistics for you as far as we keep Stat Crew files back.
That's a base hit by Schultz into left field. Schultz now 2 of 3. Both singles as he will get on base now for Manchester here in the 6th inning. That'll bring up Eric Nepper. Schultz now 8 hits against the Quakers this season. Nepper tripled and drove in the first run of the ball game for Manchester in that 5th inning. Gorman comes set. The pitch is a called strike. I believe Nepper thought that pitch was too far outside. 4 hits now for the Spartans on the day. Here's the pitch on the way outside.
4 all in the last 2 innings.
All in the last 2 innings, yep.
Spartans sent 8 batters to the plate in the 5th.
1 ball and 1 strike. Nepper back in from the left side. Here's the pitch on the way. Got him in an off-speed pitch.
This one inside to the lefty.
Yeah, he was way out in front. 1-2 now to Nepper. Long look this time as Gorman now gets the sign from Cody. The stretch in the pitch, and it's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, the first sign, of course, come from the dugout on what pitch they're looking to throw. And, of course, Cody will relay that, and if the pitcher doesn't like the pitch, he'll change it. But more often than not, you better certainly be correct in what pitch you want to throw. 3 balls, 2 strikes is that one in the dirt. Gorman comes set, 3-2, and the pitch. Runner takes off, popped him up. Left side, Dopp now in foul territory near the bullpen, and he will run out of room. So we'll stay at 3-2 for Knepper. There's not a whole lot of foul territory down each line. The bullpens are just inside the fence, and that takes away a little bit more area to at least get a foul ball down the third base side or the first base side. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Knepper back in, time called.
Update from the NCAA Division III softball tournament. Transylvania representing the HCAC in that tournament trailed Emory and Henry 1-0 until a 3-run home run in the bottom of the fourth gave the Pioneers a 3-1 lead. They're playing at Barry down in Georgia.
3 balls, 2 strikes as that throw went to first base. Schultz got a pretty good jump against Gorman the last time. The stretch. Another runner will take off. Popped up again. Again will go foul ball third base side. Dopp near the dugout makes the catch. And there's 2 away.
Just say carbon copy of that other foul ball. Runner takes off, foul ball down third base line, but this one stayed in play, and great play there from Danny.
So 2 away, and that'll bring up Joe Gallatin.
Looks like Matt Mathias is beginning to slow toss in the Earlham bullpen.
Gallatin, he's 1 for 2. Mentioned Gallatin out of Muncie Central High School. The pitch is hit foul. No balls and a strike. Again, the winner of this game will have the rest of the day off and get ready for tomorrow. The loser will have to play later today. Again, here's the 0-1. Low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The top 2 seeds here in Earlham and Manchester. The stretch and the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, and Gallatin way on the front. They throw to first, and they got him.
Wow,
Schultz
just sleeping there at first base.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Cody Krumloff will do it anytime, anywhere, and he did it right there, and he ended up getting Schultz down at first base, and that'll do it for Manchester here in this 6th inning. We will head to the bottom half of inning number 6 on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Quakers on top 4-2. This is the 2017 HCAC Baseball Tournament.
Getting a lucky break rocks, but no one can be lucky all the time. Which is why when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, the company that believes great coverage starts with care. A cost-free consultation offered to anyone, Farm Bureau client or not, that allows agents to get to know you better so they can help you prepare better. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
The 2017 HCAC Baseball Tournament. Right here at Randall R. Sadler Stadium, we will move to the bottom half of inning number 6. Cody Krumloff, Danny Dopp, and Isaiah Shake all due up. Boy, Cody Krumloff, we just got done talking about Cody a couple of moments ago and what he does for this baseball team defensively, and he just threw out a runner at first base, and he'll lead things off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The pitch by Copland is a breaking ball hit foul. Cody doubled in the 4th. He singled in the 2nd. He has driven in a run. Copland gets the sign from Pritz. Here's the pitch, and another breaking ball, this one inside. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch on the way is outside. Quakers with 7 hits. They got 3 of those in the 4th. And Krumloff hits this one foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Copland with a leg kick and the pitch. Outside again, we'll go 3-2. payoff pitch on the way. This one hit well into center field. Schultz going back. Schultz deep and will make the catch on the run just shy of the fence at about the 390 mark as Krumloff gave that one a ride. Hit it to the deepest part of this ballpark. And with one away, here's Danny Dopp.
Now batting the third baseman, number 7, Danny Dopp.
Danny is 0 for 2. Hits this one high in the air down the right field line. LaFollette will give chase, and that will go out of play. Well, who's going to go to the bullpen first? Of course, we have seen a couple of right-handers throwing for Manchester. Here's the 0-1. It's high and outside. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Lined into center field, and there is Schultz to make the catch. 2 well-hit balls, but both out in center, and that'll bring up Isaiah Hcac.
Now at the plate, the left fielder, number 33, Isaiah Hcac.
Isaiah 0 for 2 with a run scored. As Copeland set to throw on the pitch, he took something off that one. Boy, you could see it coming, too. Hcac behind and no balls and a strike. Here's the 0-1. Same pitch. This one lined into right center field. That's going to be at least 1. LaFollette misplays the baseball, and heading to second will be Isaiah Hcac. Should be a base hit and an error, I would believe. We do know the base hit part is correct. That'll be number 8. And that'll bring up now Kendall Baker. LaFollette just overran the baseball.
Yeah, will be a single and then an error on the right fielder.
So that'll be the third.
Yep, for the Spartans.
So now Baker a chance to perhaps drive in a run right here. The pitch. And Kendall goes the opposite way and fouls it out of play.
Grounded out to second base in the third and then singled in the fourth.
Boy, Baker may be looking down at Clark and saying, you know what, you're way back there. Let's see if maybe I can lay one down third base side. But he's going to swing away, but that pitch is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Clark is so far down on third, there's no way he'd get to this ball. Baker usually pretty good at laying down the bunt third base side. Hcac with a lead at second. The 1-1 pitch, and this one hit back up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Hcac rounding third. Coming up and throwing is Schultz, and it's cut off, and the Quakers now lead it 5-2.
Nice RBI single there from Kendall Baker. Will be an unearned run right now because Isaiah Hcac should be at first base.
But how about Kendall? 2 base hits. Here's Nate Lynch.
Number 2, Nate Lynch.
Lynch with 2 hits as well. You have 2 hits between 9 and 1. 4 hits of your 9. Copeland will come set. This all happening with 2 outs in the inning. That gives you a pretty good idea of how good the bottom of this order can be.
Second leadoff, right?
Yep, exactly. That pitch is outside. Well, Kendall, by the way, 15 stolen bases, so he has had a pretty good year that's been hidden by so many other guys with stolen bases. He gets the jump at first, throw down to second, not in time.
First stolen base of the tournament there, Troy, and I was just going to say, I think it's nice call there from third base coach Brandon Pennington. You got 2 outs in the inning, so really not a lot to lose, and that maybe will kickstart the running game for the Quakers, which, again, has been very potent this season.
So now Earlham again with a runner in scoring position. Lynch back in. 2 balls and no strikes. Copeland will check the runner. The pitch is hit foul. Good cut by Lynch. Now Earlham getting a run back that they gave up in the 5th inning, in which Manchester scored twice. Quakers now with 9 hits. Copeland comes set. And the pitch. Grounded down the line, and that'll be a foul ball. Nate trying to go the opposite way. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Nate Lynch just 15 strikeouts and 157 at bats, so he really follows pitches off and works the count.
Yeah, he does not strike out a lot. Well, that pitch way outside. You know, Copeland, you can tell he's a lot like Eck yesterday, as you said, but he really telegraphs that pitch.
Trying to see who's warming up the Manchester bullpen. Looks like 42 and 15 are the numbers.
Payout pitch on the way, missed outside again.
And he's having trouble gripping that breaking ball, I think, Troy.
So now the Quakers runners at first and second, and here's Matt Barger.
So Craig Overpack is one of the players in the pen for Manchester. And I think if you're Manchester, though, Troy, Coach Esposito, you might be okay with that unintentional walk of Lynch. You got first base open. He's got 2 base hits already. Bringing up Matt Barger, who has yet to reach base via base hit in this game. 0 for 3. Or 0 for 2.
That one between the legs of Copeland, and charging is the shortstop. Nowhere to throw as Riley came in, and now that'll be an infield base hit by Barger, and the bases are now loaded. And Brennan Laird steps up.
So that really used to scoring at home, that run that Isaiah Shake scored now becomes earned. And here comes Coach Esposito to the mound.
And that may do it for Copeland. Brennan's about due. He's 0 for 3 today.
Also struggled in the Hanover series as well, Troy. So he's due to break out. And this is another situation for Copeland where you saw Manchester had the bases loaded, 1 out in the 5th, having already scored 2 runs, and Kyle Gorman got out of the inning with a strikeout and a flyout to right field. And now you have Copeland, who gives up just a run, but now after a walk and then another base hit up the middle, now all of a sudden you got bases loaded. Earlham already up by 3 runs. This, sort of has the feeling of a must-out for Manchester.
Well, and you know what? If you're Brendan Laird now, be real patient, because you know that Copeland is struggling. You can look for your pitch to hit, your pitch to drive.
Yep. Well, and Laird also is the program's leader in walks in a career, so that's who you want up.
First pitch is low.
I'd also be looking fastball, too, if I'm Brennan, knowing that you had 2 breaking balls that got sent to Nate Lynch that were well up, and this breaking pitch was about 58 feet.
Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. That's a strike. You make him throw as many pitches as you have to until you get the one you want. Copeland looks in, gets the side again from Pritch. Runners will get their leads. Here's the pitch on the way. Now that might have been one right there. 1-2. That's a pretty good pitch.
Laird also someone, though, Troy, that does like to take a couple pitches. He's not someone that swings the first couple very often.
That one you take to right field, as now the 1-2 delivery on the way, and that bounces away from the catcher, Pritch. A run will score, and the ball got caught in the netting, so they will not allow the 2 runners to advance from there, but a run will score on that wild pitch. Now the Quakers lead this one 6-2. Very rare that the ball would get caught in the netting in the backstop, but it did so. So again, the runners will have to stay at second and third. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch to Laird, and this one tapped left side. This is going to be trouble. Copeland off the bench and throws it away. 2 runs scoring, and the Quakers now lead this one 8-2.
So we've got, for those of you scoring at home, that would be a single and 1 RBI, and then Barger scored on an error by the pitcher. And I think there, Troy, if you're Copeland, you just have to eat the baseball.
Yeah.
Right? You're not going to throw out Brennan Laird, who's got great wheels, and 2 runs across the plate. All of a sudden, the inning that scored 1 run is ballooned into 4, and Coach Esposito has seen enough. Copeland will come out of this ball game, and we'll have a pitching change here for the Spartans. Looks to be a right-handed arm.
And all of this happening with 2 outs in the inning. The first 2 guys were out, and from then on, been all Quakers. We'll tell you about the new pitcher coming up in a moment on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Quakers on top of this one, 8-2.
Getting a lucky break rocks, but no one can be lucky all the time. which is why when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, the company that believes great coverage starts with care. A cost-free consultation offered to anyone, Farm Bureau client or not, that allows agents to get to know you better so they can help you prepare better. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Are you looking for a quality used car you can trust to take you where you want to go? Stop at Tony's Car Sales at 250 National Road West. Tony's has a top-of-the-line selection of low-mileage, one-owner cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, all handpicked by Mike and Adrian Parker. Tony's is family-owned with 3 generations and 60 years of experience. Check out their selection at tonyscarsales.com or at 250 National Road West. Tony's Car Sales, where honesty, quality, and price sell cars.
Mason Newman will take over here for Manchester. Newman making his 17th appearance, 18 innings, 23 hits, 17 runs, 12 earned. He has struck out 8 and walked, we'll take that back, struck out 4 and walked 8 on the year. 1-2 with an ERA of an even 6. Quakers 4 runs in the inning. There have been a couple of errors in the inning as well, and that's now 4 by Manchester. And we're not done yet because here's Eric Elkis.
Ironically, though, Troy, all runs are earned because neither error would have resulted in an out. So I'm as the scorer, going to assume that Laird would have beaten that throw out to first base, and I think you'd agree on that soft chopper. So both errors, but neither. Here goes Laird.
In there for a strike. Throw down, it'll get through.
And there's another error.
And Laird on his way to third, so a stolen base and another error. That is number 5 now on Manchester.
But was a strike there from Newman.
So now the Quakers have 2 stolen bases in this inning. And nothing going right now for the Spartans. Second baseman Smith, I don't know if he's trying to, of course, he may have gotten some of that rubber in his eye coming from the turf.
Pellets, yeah.
That can be a little annoying, I'm sure.
Wonder when the last time you've seen 3 errors in an inning that none of them would have resulted in an out. Because again, Laird would have beaten that throw there to second base.
It does not happen often, and now the shortstop Riley will help Smith and try to get that.
Maybe have a contact issue, potentially?
That could be too, yeah. Well, and certainly with, again, the little pebbles may get in your eye and bother your contact.
So looking at having done a little bit of research here, looking at the past champions of this tournament, you've got, dating back to 1999, Anderson University twice, then Hanover in 2001, Franklin in 2002, Mount St. Joe in 2003, Manchester in 2004, Franklin in 2005, Manchester in 2006, Transylvania in 2007, MSJ in 2008, Franklin in 2009, Anderson in 2010, Manchester in 2011, Rose-Hulman in 2012, Manchester in 13-14, Anderson 15, and Rose-Hulman in 16. So interestingly, the only repeat champion was Manchester in 13 and 14.
It's never easy to repeat anymore, is it?
Definitely not.
In most any sport. 1 ball, 1 strike to Elkis. Runner at third. The stretch by Newman in the pitch, and that's inside.
But again, for those of you just tuned in, we did talk about earlier that since 2006, which is as far as the statistics go back on the conference website, the team that has advanced to championship, the championship day, which is usually Saturday, can be Sunday, 2-0 has won every single tournament.
Yeah.
Which, again, would be the winner of this game.
Well, right now it's all Quakers, 8-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Elkis.
Still plenty of time for that Manchester offense, though. I'm sure Coach Sakasitz is not content.
Well, that one hit a mile high. Pritz and Clark, and it'll be Clark coming in to make the catch. That came back into fair territory, and that will do it for the Quakers. But again, Earlham picking up 4 runs in the inning we will head to the 7th. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Quakers up 8-2.
Hi, this is Troy Argowski of Radio Troy Digital Sports. There are plenty of places for me to get lunch or dinner, but there's only one Mancino's. In fact, I was just there for lunch the other day and had a delicious pizza grinder. That's just one of many choices I can get at Mancino's. How about a fresh salad? Several varieties of pasta, Mancino's Lights, or perhaps even an oven-baked spaghetti, or maybe a pepperoni pizza. So when you're looking for a great lunch or dinner, make sure you choose Mancino's, 217 National Road West in Richmond. We'd like you to know why public power is important to you. In small towns and cities across America, locally owned public power systems like ours represent local people working together to meet local needs. Our only purpose is to provide an essential service at the lowest possible cost. This makes a big difference in rates and service, and all the benefits we produce at home stay at home. Richmond Power and Light, your locally owned electric utility. Together, we make powerful partners.
Back once again here at the 2017 HCAC Baseball Tournament. We'll head to the 7th inning. Gallatin, Clark, and Pritz are due up. Gorman will be back in for another inning of work.
Matt Mathias still warming up in the Quaker bullpen. Troy, and I know you've called a lot of Earlham's games here. Matt Mathias has been good at times and bad at times.
Yeah.
His numbers coming into this game is an 8.04 earned run average, a 4-4 record, 31 innings pitched, 28 earned runs, 11 walks, 11 strikeouts. So, but again, you have a cushion of 6 runs, but against this Spartan team, you know, all of a sudden we saw in the 5th inning, they didn't have a base runner in the first 4 innings, and bang, 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 all of a sudden 2 runs across the plate.
Things can change quickly, that's for sure. 1 ball, no strikes. This one hit foul. Gallatin was at the plate when Schultz was picked off down at first base, and that's kind of where everything kind of switched to momentum-wise. And then the Quakers had the first 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning, and then erupted for the 4 runs. That pitch low and outside, but they got some help by a porous defense for Manchester. Gallatin again 1 for 2. Here's the pitch on the way. That one hit right at the shortstop, Laird, who will snag that one, and there's 1 away.
That's one of those scenarios where if you're Manchester, you can't be upset. That's a good at-bat. Ball just scorched, but right in the wrong spot.
Here is Kevin Clark.
Number 12, Kevin Clark.
By the way, you're talking about Mathias in the 3-game set against Manchester earlier this year. Only threw a third of an inning, gave up 5 hits, 8 runs, and 8 earned. So he had some trouble getting the Spartans out up in Manchester. That pitch in there for a strike.
So that's under the not good
not
category
good.
that we were just talking about.
That'll balloon your ERA a lot. Here's the 0-1. Another breaking ball hit foul, and Clark quickly behind to no balls and 2 strikes.
Howie Smith went 7.1 innings yesterday, and Walter Talcott came in, finished the final 2.2, didn't allow a hit, 2 strikeouts in Troy. That's got to be the best he's looked all year.
Yeah, it
Had
is.
the breaking ball working and got Earlham out of a runners on the corners 1-out jam in that game. And this is, talking about the Quaker pitching staff. Kyle Gorman also got out of a bases loaded jam and 1 out there to end the 5th inning after the 2 runs across the plate. So 2 pretty key scenarios where, I would say the odds are in favor of the offense, scoring a runner at third base less than 1 out. Another great pitch there from Gorman. Another breaking ball in the outer part of the plate.
Yeah, Gallatin will strike out. Take that back. Clark will strike out. That is now the 6th strikeout. And here is Matt Pritz. Well, now, of course, we're going to have looks like a pinch hitter right here for Pritz. You think about, again, I'm not jumping ahead, but I've got to look to tomorrow. Who starts if you make it to the championship tomorrow? Do you go back with Howie, who's had success as your veteran? Do you maybe go with...
I would guess he'll start Greavy, especially considering that, again, if this result were to hold, Earlham would have to win just 1 of 2 games on Saturday. I would guess Howie would be available out of the pen, as well as Walter Talcott. Now, who knows? I think you could start either one. I would guess that Coach Sakasitz would start Talcott over Howie Smith in that game tomorrow. But again, still work to do here, but only need 7 more outs, and another great pitch there from Gorman. And
this is Lucas Graman, by the way, a .381 hitter, as he will pinch hit in the place of Pritz, because they need some offense right here. And there's a swing and a miss, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And Troy, Kyle Gorman's been pretty good for the better half of his freshman season, but this is the best I've seen his breaking ball.
And he got him. 2 strikeouts in the inning, and that'll do it for Manchester, as we will head to the bottom half of inning number 7 of the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Quakers lead this one 8-2. This is the 2017 HCAC Baseball Tournament.
It's game time. The Sportsplex is now open. Get your teams together and come out for basketball, volleyball, soccer, tennis, golf, batting cages, wrestling, and much, much more. The Sportsplex also offers court rentals for your entire team to play a pickup game or to hold practices. Use our turf fields for multiple sports, including flag football, baseball fielding, and rugby. Sportsplex is open 7 days a week. Check out FamilyFitnessWorks.com for more information and current hours, or call 765-935-0111.
There's only one place to go on the World Wide Web to find the best automotive deals. Wetzelauto.com. One of the area's largest inventories, all in one spot. Wetzelauto.com. Here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Wetzelauto.com. New and used vehicles, service, parts, body shop, and rental. Plus, value your trade. It's easy to navigate. It's convenient. Wetzelauto.com. It's clickin' awesome.
Well, we will head to the bottom half of inning number 7. It'll be, who's leading off here? Is this Krumloff or Robertson? It'll be
Cody.
Robertson first. Yeah, Cody ran around and talked to the umpire, so it'll be Robertson first. I was wondering why Cody had gone over there.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 31, Anderson Robertson.
Well, if you're the Quakers and you want to add a couple of insurance runs here just to make sure, you love the padding a little bit. Robertson 1 for 3. Newman back out. Gallatin will be catching. And that pitch a little bit low for a ball.
Different arm action here, Troy, for the Earlham offense to see more 3/4 for Newman.
Ground ball, third base side.
Maybe even sidearm. I think Eck and Copland were much more over the top.
Yeah. Every once in a while they did that 3/4, and then you could always see that was where the breaking pitch was coming. 1-1 to Robertson. The pitch on the way. Fly ball into right field. LaFollette near the line will camp into that one and make the catch. There's one away. That'll bring up Cody Krumloff. Well, Earlham, and again, they've set those goals ever since they ended up losing to Rose last year in the championship game. It was to be the number 1 seed, host this tournament, and then win this tournament. And I'm not trying to jump ahead. Nobody wants to, but now they're 6 outs away on the other side from doing just that. Here's the pitch. Hit foul.
From getting to the championship round again. But again, they would be favored for a couple reasons. Talking about 1, obviously, all you can do is win one more game. Yeah. But 2, whoever you're playing has to use much more of its pitching staff. Yeah. So that's also an advantage.
Fly ball right field, and that'll go out of play. And Coach Sack always talks about the backside, and that means your pitching staff, if you can use Talcott coming out of the bullpen, or Cody, or I should say Howie Smith coming out of the bullpen, whatever the case may be, you still have an advantage. Here's another fly ball into right field. LaFollette running again will jump the fence, and that'll go out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. You know, you still can throw a whole lot of arms out of that bullpen if you have to. You mentioned already Spencer Owen. You still would have Jordan Christian, who's been moved to the bullpen, as that pitch misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Speaking of Spencer Owen, he's doing some soft toss here in the Quakers bullpen.
So there's a lot of different options the Quakers could go with. That pitch inside.
Owen has a 1.27 earned run average this season.
And he's, what'd you say the record was for him?
I got to check. I think 1.3 set by Gene Radio in 1986. Or in 1968, excuse me. I'll have to double check that here a second.
Fly ball into right field, and that'll be caught by LaFollette 2 away.
Pretty good at bat there from Krumloff, though. Fouled off a bunch of pitches. I think Coach Caduto, who's the sort of the offensive coach for the Quakers, would say that's a quality at bat.
Yeah.
Batting the third baseman.
Here's Danny Dopp.
Danny Dopp.
Dopp 0 for 3. Boy, he delivered the game-winning hit last night. Pitch is low and outside. Well, now if Quakers win this, everyone else will have to win out or go home. Here's a fly ball again, right field, and going out to make the catch will be Smith in shallow right, and that'll do it for the Quakers here in the bottom half of inning number 7.
Just a quick update, Troy, for the HCAC. Transylvania defeats Emory and Henry in the softball tournament and will face Thomas More at Barry tomorrow. So great win for the Pioneers for the conference.
All right, we'll take a timeout. 2017 HCAC baseball tournament. Quakers on top of this one, 8-2.
Some people are born lucky. Other people take luck into their own hands, avoid stepping on sidewalk cracks, and wouldn't dare walk under a ladder. But whether you're born with luck or make your own, when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today or visit them online at infarmbureau.com to purchase an auto policy. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Best One Tire and Service has been committed to our partners since 1948. With more than 250 locations in 26 states, Best One puts over 1 million tires on the road every year. Superior tires, expert service, competitive prices. Best One Tire and Service, where the best costs less.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark with Best One of Richmond. Because Best One is one of Bridgestone's largest retailers, we offer exclusive Bridgestone savings. Visit us in Richmond to save on Bridgestone tires today.
Kyle Gorman is back out for inning number 8, and since he got roughed up in the 5th inning, he's pitched really well for the last 2 innings.
Number 11, Christian Smith.
Here's Christian Smith. Smith, the number 9 hitter, so far today 0 for 1 with a walk against Gorman in the first pitch, in there for a strike. Well, you have to like the way that he has reacted, speaking of Kyle Gorman, to come back after, again, a rough outing in the 5th inning. And he's kind of back on pace where he was in the first 4 innings. Smith behind 0-2.
But he's looked absolutely great, other than that. Provided he can keep Manchester from scoring three, another earned run, it'll be a quality start for Gorman, which, as a coach, that's all you can ask.
The appeal, he does not go around. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Smith. 4 hits so far for Manchester, but 5 errors. That's chopped foul. Needless to say, they have shot themselves in the foot, and the Quakers have shot them in the foot a couple of times themselves as they decided to take full advantage of those errors. Here is the pitch on the way, grounded to the right side. Barger will field and throw.
Troy, Gorman's done such a good job. I know I've talked a lot about the off-speed pitch down and away, but that's got to be set up. I think there's been times where he did hit one batter, but he's done a good job establishing the inner half of the plate as well. And I think, once you do that, that fastball and that breaking pitch on the outside part of the plate start to look like the same thing, the Manchester hitters, and we've definitely seen that today.
Yeah. Here is Braxton Riley. He has struggled today. A couple of strikeouts. He's 0 for 3 in Gorman's first pitch on the way. Drops in for a strike.
Another breaking ball, I think, goes back to that cadence that Gorman has on the mound. Just works kind of quickly, but definitely in control and command.
There's another breaking pitch hit foul, and it was very late on the break again, 0-2.
Yeah, that's a reason, Troy, if you're an Earlham fan, to be excited about the future. We lose a lot of seniors off this year's team once this season comes to an end. But a lot of young players, while talking with Mark Atkins of Manchester, the Spartans have a lot of underclassmen as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle next year. Quakers will have to replace a lot of offense. But, again, you look at all the arms they have coming back, it's almost the opposite. They have lost a lot of good pitching over the last 2 to 3 years. But they've been able to develop these guys and bring them along. Here's the pitch. This one hit into center field, and that'll fall in for a base hit. One out single by Riley.
I think another trend, Troy, in this conference the last 2 years, you saw Anderson University host a tournament, win the tournament 2 years ago, with much of its core being seniors. And then last year you saw Rose-Hulman win the regular season, host the tournament, win the tournament, with its core group being a bunch of seniors. And this year, again, not to get ahead of ourselves, but you've got Earlham win the tournament, host the tournament, have a bunch of seniors. So
yeah, it does pay, that's for sure. Here's Zarensky 0 for 3. Ground ball to the third baseman, Dopp. One to Barger. The relay to first gets by the first baseman, Elkis, and goes into the dugout.
That will be an error on Barger on the throwing area. You can never assume a double play, but the runner will advance on that bad throw.
So 2 away as they get Riley. And there's the first error of the ball game for the Quakers. I'll take that, though, and Barger trying to make that turn. So Zarensky safe at first base. Here's LaFollette, who's 0 for 3. And, yeah, again, I don't mind that when you're up by 6 runs. And he would have been okay if that one doesn't go into the dugout. So now Zarensky down at second base. Here's the pitch, and that's low for a ball. Speaking of the amount of errors, I got to go back to the 3 games that these teams played, as that one is inside and will hit LaFollette. So now runners at first and second. It wasn't a clean ball game when these two teams played previously. Earlham ended up committing several errors, as did Manchester. So we haven't seen a clean 4 games.
Number 5, Chad Schultz.
Schultz steps up for the 4th time. A couple of base hits for Schultz. The pitch by Gorman in there for a strike. Well, again, you see how a pitcher responds after an error, and then he hits the batter, how he'll respond here as the Quakers bullpen quiet at the moment. Runners at first and second. Here's the pitch. Grounded toward the shortstop, Laird. He will backhand, soft toss it to third, get the force out there, and that'll do it here in the top of the 8th inning. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Quakers lead this one 8-2.
For over 30 years, Reynolds Plumbing has been keeping the Richmond-Wayne County area running. Whether on commercial properties, restaurants, or residential, they've done quality plumbing, heating, and air work for thousands of customers. It's not just about the quality work, it's also about customer service. It's about attention to details and making absolutely sure you are 100% satisfied. If that's the kind of experience you want in your next plumbing or HVAC job, then Reynolds Plumbing has you covered. Give them a call at 966-0994.
Are new cabinets on your wish list? Visit the new Georgia Direct showroom and see the great variety of cabinets on display in a modern setting. Georgia Direct carries quality craft-made one cabinets, and the new showroom has plenty of styles and colors on display. In Richmond, craft-made one is only available at Georgia Direct, where the designers are always on hand to help create a custom kitchen for your home. Visit Georgia Direct's new showroom on 40 East, next to Red Lobster. You'll love what you see, and you'll love the savings at Georgia Direct.
8-2, Quakers on top as we get set for the bottom half of inning number 8. See the Quakers 8 runs, 11 hits, 1 error, and Manchester 2 runs, 5 hits, and 5 errors. As Isaiah Shake will lead things off here for the Quakers.
Now batting the left fielder, number 33, Isaiah
Shake, Baker, and Lynch for Earlham here in the 8th inning. Isaiah with a base hit. That happened in the 6th inning. Here is Newman back in for another inning of work. And his pitch is inside ball 1. Isaiah coming in at 321. Will take that pitch inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Now Earlham again, the 3-run 4th inning, the 4-run 6th inning. That's been the huge difference in this one. There's a breaking ball in there for strike 1. But you go back to inning number 6, in which there were 3 errors committed. Fly ball into right field. LaFollette is there and will make the catch. And there's one away. Here's Kendall Baker.
Now batter, the right fielder, number 1, Kendall Baker.
Kendall 2 for 3, had a key base hit in the 6th inning, a stolen base as well. So now Kendall steps in as Newman will work from the stretch, and Baker takes that pitch for a strike. Newman with the pitch, swung on and hit foul. And Kendall quickly behind it, no balls and 2 strikes. Spencer Owen now throwing in the Earlham bullpen. That one slapped foul. Baker will stay at no balls, 2 strikes. The stretch and the pitch, and it's low and outside. And we'll go to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Baker, a junior out of Richmond. Here's the pitch, again outside. Ball gets out of the Richmond bullpen. That'll stop play for the moment. Newman again ready to throw. The pitch coming inside almost gets him. And we'll go to 3 balls, 2 strikes. Good at bat right here for Kendall Baker after falling down 0-2. The pitch on the way, and that one is hit foul again. Good job again as Kendall battling here in the 8th inning. The stretch again by Newman in the pitch, grounded toward the first baseman. Zarensky will step on the bag. There's 2 away. And we'll head to the top of the order now, Nate Lynch. Nate, couple of base hits, couple of runs scored.
Number 2, Nate Lynch.
Newman comes set. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. I believe this is the first time that Nate has seen Newman, the right-hander. The 0-1 pitch on the way. Hit back up the middle, and a 3-hit game now for Nate Lynch as he continues to add to his Earlham record. 12 hits now for the Quakers. And here's Matt Barger.
Now batting the second baseman, number 20, Matt Barger.
Matt singled and scored his last time up in the 6th inning. Lynch gets a lead. Here's the pitch on the way. Grounded foul, 3rd baseline. Don't be too surprised. You'll see Lynch trying to get into scoring position right here. Quakers, though, up by 6. Probably love to get 1 more run, at least give them a little cushion again, as there's a swing and a miss. Foul tipped, actually, held on by Gallatin. And the count goes to no balls, 2 strikes. Stretch again by Newman. And the pitch on the way is high and outside. Check swing. He did not go around. Barger back in. Newman. Here the runner takes off. This one popped up. Gallatin, the catcher, will snag that one, and that'll do it for the Quakers here in the 8th inning. We head to inning number 9. The Quakers are now 3 outs away from advancing to tomorrow's championship game for the second year in a row. 9th inning coming up. This is the 2017 HCAC baseball tournament.
There is one thing for sure in my life. I know nothing about fixing cars. That's why I take my vehicles to Beach Automotive at 110 East Main in Richmond. Their experts have the knowledge to service and repair even the most challenging auto problems. So if you have an automotive question, they have the answers at Beach Automotive, 110 East Main in Richmond. Or give them a call at 765-966-8181 or visit their website, beach-auto.com.
Hey, Chuck, where you headed? Spinning's about to start.
I'm heading to CrossFit.
Isn't that for, like, the elite lifters or athletes only?
No, at FFW CrossFit, all workouts can and will be scaled to any ability level to welcome everyone.
Sounds great. I need to get out of the same old workout routine. I'm just not sure I can keep up. It seems pretty intense.
No real lifting experience is needed. FFW CrossFit teaches you everything you need to know and move at your own pace in a positive, motivating environment.
You know, I've always wanted to give it a try. I'll see you there.
Learn more at ffwcrossfit.com.
Well, the Quakers will go to the bottom half, or I should say top half of the 9th inning by bringing in the right-hander Spencer Owen. He is making his 17th appearance. 21 1/3 innings on the year, 17 hits. He's given up 8 runs, 3 earned, 14 strikeouts and 8 walks. Spencer with an ERA of 1.27. He is 1-0 on the year. He has 3 saves, though this is not a save opportunity. He'll look to shut things down for Manchester here in the 9th inning. Nepper, Gallatin, and Clark all scheduled up. Now for the Spartans. Quakers win this. It will be their 28th win of the season. The record is 29. They can match that tomorrow. Nepper tripled back in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 3, and Spencer Owen now set to go. The freshman out of Bargersville, Indiana, in his first pitch. He is in there for a strike. Nothing to do here but throw strikes, get some outs, and get out of here. Here's the wind and the 0-1 pitch up high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Owen gets the sign from Krumloff. The pitch. That's low. 2-1 now to Nepper. The pitch on the way, and that misses inside. 3 balls and a strike. Owen ready to throw, and the pitch on the way. Check swing, tap to the left side, and that'll be a foul ball. So 3 balls and 2 strikes now to Eric Nepper. Here's the payoff pitch on the way. The line right to the shortstop. Laird one away. Laird had that one played perfectly. This will bring up Joe Gallatin. Gallatin 1 for 3, singled in the 5th inning.
Joe Gallatin.
So now the Quakers 2 outs away from advancing. Here's the pitch. That's in there for a strike. The wind and the pitch on the way. Tap to the right side. Elkis. Owen covering, and there's 2 away. So now the Spartans down to their final out. Kevin Clark 0 for 3. He has struck out twice.
Now batting the third baseman, number 12, Kevin Clark.
So Clark steps in as Owen gets the sign. Here's the pitch, and it's low for a ball. Here's the 1-0 pitch, right down the middle for a strike. Owen has played well. I'll tell you what, a young man again, just a freshman. That pitch low and outside, 2 balls and a strike. 2 ways we play here in the 9th inning. Owen with a leg kick and the pitch. Missed up high, 3-1. Here's your 3-1 pitch, and he missed high and inside. That'll be ball 4, so a 2-out walk. And the Spartans have a man on. They'll stay alive. Here is Brandon Frazier. So Frazier hitting in the number 8 hole.
Now pinch hitting number 37, Brandon Frazier.
So here is Frazier. Frazier hitting a .284, a home run. He has driven in 12. Owen comes set. Here's the pitch, and it's low for a ball. Again, Quakers need 1 out right here as Owen checks the runner at first. And the pitch on the way, that's a strike. Owen again will look over at first base, gets the sign now from Cody. And the pitch on the way, fly ball, right center field. Coming over is Lynch, and this one's over. Quakers will advance to the championship game tomorrow as they win here by a final score of 8-2. And so the Quakers again advance to the title game tomorrow. That is a noon start time. As Kyle Gorman picks up the win, he is now 7-1 on this season. Taylor Copland will take the loss. He falls to 3-4. So now Manchester will have to play in the elimination game later today at 4 o'clock against the winner of Rose and Mount St. Joe. That'll come up at around 12:30. So for the second straight year, the Quakers on their way to the championship game. Thanks for being with us. Game 2 coming up at about 12:30. This has been the 2017 HCAC Baseball Tournament right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.